Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the late start. We're gonna get started shortly. Alright, good morning, everyone. I can't tell you how happy I am just to see you guys daily, because it's a way for us to look through things together. It's a way for us to learn from each other. So it's really good interacting with you guys, especially in chat. And Kami, I see you. You're always here, so I appreciate you. You're the best guardian of the earth ever. So totally miss you when you merged with Piccolo. So I am truly grateful for such a great Kami. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Is my voice really weird? Do I sound weird? I did have a terrible dream last night. A bit of echo. Maybe the room is, because I cleaned my room a little bit. Oh boy. Is it really bad? Let me turn it down a little bit. Hopefully that's a little better. Damn. I really wanted to make the voice. Oh my god, the echoes. How do I fix? When fix? I don't know how to fix it though. When fix, guys, when fix. Or how fix. I'm gonna try to adjust my thingy. Really, it does sound like, I mean, maybe I am in a toilet bowl. Darn, I'm trying to get this mic thingy right here. You guys are not trolling me, right? I mean, I do have a crazy echo right now. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I do have. Hold on. Okay, does that sound better? Is there echo anymore? Hello, hello, hello. I think I fixed the echo. Please tell me I fixed the echo. Yeah, I disabled one source. Sounds better now? Cool, thank you guys. Well, you see, that's what I'm talking about, teamwork. We fix an issue live on air, so thank you guys. I appreciate you guys very much. I'm not sure why there was two sources, but I guess that's fixed now. Oh, it would have made a nice if sound effects if there's double echo. Okay, great. We're good to go. All right, we got a lot to cover today. First, let's do a quick market updates. Well, the price of WMemo has been pretty sideways for the past few hours. And Seafood did continue to buy. We got some whales accumulating probably, but it's been pretty sideways action. Now, crypto on the other hand, like Bitcoin, we see a little drop because there were some liquidations I saw on my Discord where there was a bit of drop if you look at it. So I have this liquidation bot on my channel, on my Discord. It tells you when somebody getting liquidated. So you got a $2.4 million long getting liquidated. So when this happens, the price tends to drop. And here you have a $10 million long getting liquidated. So these are over leveraged junkies. They all get destroyed. So that's what's causing the crazy drops in the price. That is when the liquidation happens, you tend to get a big red candle. Now, all the other cryptos are pulling back a little bit. We see the Harmony token, which is something I invested in. It went as high as 9.4 and now it's back to 8.7. And so is Harmony, went from 2.22 cents back to 21 cents. It's quite a bit. So I am expecting a bit of a pullback, of course, obviously. But I hope this is just refueling for the next run. And yes, AVAX has been pumping really nicely. So if you did getting AVAX, congratulations. It went as low as 50 cents. No, $50 at some point. Whoa, what is this giant candle on AVAX right here? Did you guys see this $2,000 AVAX? That totally messed up my chart right here. What is this giant candle? What the hell? Okay, I don't know. Maybe some whale fat fingered it and bought like $2,000 AVAX? That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna try to fix the chart. I can't fix it. This whole candle broke it. Oh man. Okay, maybe that was only on that exchange. But AVAX in general has been going extremely well. So if you bought the dip, 58 or maybe 55, you locked out. It's at 86 right now. So I think AVAX is doing well. I'm very bullish on it. So yeah, that's the market update. And I don't want to do too much market update today because we have a lot in store today. So what did I do last night? Well, besides just getting sad and depressed, I decided to look into this report from the Canadian Security Commission about Quadriga. I really want to look into what exactly happened, and I want to see or read about the investigation by the Ontario Security Commission. Now think of this like the SEC of Canada, and they did a really thorough investigation into Quadriga to find out exactly what went wrong and how were they able to lose hundreds of millions of dollars of customers' fund. Now, you all know the backstory. The backstory, the gist of it is that Sifu and this guy called Cotton started this exchange back in, I think, 2015. And they grew tremendously. When they grew tremendously, they started to try to do IPO. And when they tried to do IPO, Sifu wanted to do IPO, but the other guy, Cotton, didn't want to. And then they broke up, they had a fight. Unlike Sifu and Danny, they still remain friends after the fight. Sifu sort of got out. And then after that, it's like a one-man show by Cotton. And then the dude just nuts. Dude is a total scam artist. And he lost everybody's funds. So this is the gist of it. So this is the report by the Ontario Security Commission. And they detailed a lot about what's going on behind the scenes. It's a long report, but I don't want you guys to read all of this on stream. I read it last night, so I'm just gonna give you a breakdown, like a Cliff Note version of this. So buckle up. It's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be, I guess, a very interesting story. And no, Sifu is not the founder. He's the co-founder. He's more like an investor than the operation person, according to what I read. So let's get to it. There are a few things. I had this note here. I think I'll probably make this available on my Patreon if you guys want to support me. This is the notes of what exactly happened. So to get started, this exchange here, Quadriga, is a very typical crypto exchange kind of like when crypto was crazy in 2017, there was a lot of rise in Bitcoin crypto interest in 2017. That's like one of the first waves when it made Bitcoin to over $20,000. So that was like 2017 right here. So that was a time when the interest was all-time high. So they started this a bit earlier, maybe 2015. They started the exchange in Canada. Now, Sifu is I guess the fund person, more like the COO of the company, while Cotton is the CEO. He's the face of the company, and Sifu is like the face behind the company. He doesn't like to be public. And Cotton doesn't want to talk about Sifu at all. He's like slightly mentioned, but he almost never say Sifu's name. So, and you probably know why, because of Sifu's past. Kind of like Danny and Sifu right now in Wonderland, right? Doesn't that remind you of that? Anyway, so Sifu's the guy behind it, as far as like operation goes. Now, this exchange, Quadriga, operated like many other exchanges in the market, even like Coinbase or Binance. So basically, they are a online exchange where you can buy and sell crypto. I will link it in the chat, where they will buy and sell crypto on the exchange. And the key thing is all of your trades are not recorded on the blockchain. That's the key. You guys need to know. This happens on Coinbase, this happens on Binance, happens on many, many centralized exchanges. What does that mean? That means when you sell or buy something, it's not on the chain. Why? Because it's more expensive to record a transaction on the chain, and it's much slower. So what they do is the exchange becomes a settlement layer. It's the place where they record your balance on their system. That's why it's a centralized exchange. On their servers, they record your trades. So this is how they work. So you have to deposit your money, you trade. All of that is exchanged on their server rather than a blockchain. That's the key thing to understand. Now, customer trades were recorded as claim. So when you trade, they update the claim of the customer. So when you have a certain balance in your account on an exchange, this is pretty much how they record it. They record it on their database, on their server. So they know how much money you have after your trade, and they know how much Bitcoins or crypto you bought after a transaction. All on their server, on a database somewhere. And that's how Coinbase works currently as well today. So that's a standard thing. A lot of exchanges do that because they don't want to transact it on the blockchain because it's inefficient. Now, the other thing they found was that the funds were not safeguarded. Even though they claim on its website that all funds in Quadriga are highly liquid and can be withdrawn anytime. Now, does that sound familiar to you? Sounds like Coinbase. Sounds like any of these exchanges. Well, in reality, Quadriga's custody model and practices were flawed and placed clients' assets at significant risk of loss, theft, and misuse. So this is why it's an argument for regulation. You need some sort of regulation about how an exchange are handling the customer's funds. Like in the bank, you need to make sure the funds are there. You need to have a fractional reserve. But in the crypto exchange, like Coinbase and whatever, Coinbase claims that they store your fund in co-exchange, not hot wallets. So they all claim that. Even Quadriga, they're claiming. I'm not saying Coinbase is fraud. I'm just saying Quadriga claimed that on their website. But in reality, they don't do any of that. So that's a total misleading practice. And that should be the red flag. But nobody knew it, except for the people inside of Quadriga. Now, does Sifu know it? Maybe he does. But we don't know. So this is the gist of it. When you deposit your fund to the exchange, you deposit it to a giant pool of funds, right? So that's very similar to any exchange like Coinbase. When you deposit your money, Coinbase has your money, and they pool it together to make it a giant pool of money. And then they lend it out, they let people borrow it for a fee, and that's how they're able to pay you a certain APY for your stable coins, for your crypto. That's how they do. So Quadriga claimed that they held the money in cold storage, 99% of it. Cotton claimed coins were held in multisig. It was all false. All false. Mix of hot wallet and other crypto trading platforms. That's where they put the money in. They actually take your money that was deposited into Quadriga and they send the money to other exchanges and have them handle your money. So that was pretty reckless of them to do, because if any of these other exchanges got exploited or go out of business, so will your money. So you trusted Quadriga when you deposited your money with the handling of your money, but turns out they take the money out to other trading platforms. They never had the infrastructure set up to hold your asset correctly. So that's what happened. Now, Cotton was steadily depleting the client's assets. We will talk about that. Now, that's straight up criminal behavior, straight up scam, straight up theft. We will talk about it. And that actually was the downfall of this whole exchange. Now, Cotton is the only person who controls all the assets. He moved wallet off platform to account on other platforms. No disclosure to the customer about any of this. This is what happens when it's a one-man show. They can just lie. They can lie about multisig. They can lie about how they control your money. They can lie about what they do with your money. Cotton traded with client fund on other platforms, at least 3, and lost 28 million in client asset from trading. Now this guy, not only is he dishonest, not only is he a piece of shit, he's a terrible trader as well. He lost $28 million of customers' fund while trading the fund on other exchange. That's just total shit show. Now the platform provided limited info about people's trades, which is another sign, the terrible platform. But this is the big one. I want you guys to keep that in mind. This is the founder, the CEO of this damn exchange. So, oh yeah, you guys probably don't know who this guy is. This guy is the guy who supposedly died in India. He's a total psychopath. So total piece of shit. Total scammer. Well, he's dead. I'm not going to talk about him. But pretty much. I think there's like a crazy story of his wife too. So I'll talk about it another time. Anyway, focus on Quadriga. Okay, so he lost 28 million. I think probably more. So in the early days, when the company was just starting, they held the money in Canadian banks. But as the company grew, the banks refused to hold their money. Because even though Canadians are super nice, I think the government is actually pretty pro-crypto, the banks refuse to hold Quadriga's money because of the risk involved. They don't want to maybe get into money laundering. Who knows where the money is from, right? So this is why they backed out of it. The banks don't want to deal with them anymore. So Khan went to Reddit and complained about this. And he's like, oh, this is why we can withdraw now. So they went to third-party processors to hold clients' asset. Maybe one of them was Sifu's company. Remember, Sifu got arrested for starting one of those shady money processor companies. Yeah, so it could be part of Sifu's money. So now you have Quadriga with like $800 million money like flew through these third-party processors. These third-party processors made out like bandits. They made a ton of money from collecting fees. So this is crazy. This is how much money they were making. I'm pretty sure Sifu knows. Well, this is 2017. Well, we'll talk about what Sifu's role in this whole thing is. But basically, they made a lot of money for these third-party processors because the bank refused to process Quadriga's money. So here's a snippet from the thing. One of Quadriga's major clients was Canadian Bitcoin ATM company. The president of the company would personally deliver suitcases of cash to Cotton to fund his Quadriga account. Think about it. This is like mafia behavior. Sometimes using private jets to meet quickly. Ultimately, Quadriga received over $20 million in cash from this ATM company, which Karen knew, with this origin, would not be accepted by any banks in Canada. He used cash to fund client withdrawals requests by mailing envelopes of cash across the country. The platform data indicates that $14 million of client withdrawals were fulfilled by cash delivery. Now, can you guys imagine this? You go to Coinbase, you hit withdraw. Instead of the fund going to ACH or whatever wire to your bank account, you get let's say you want to withdraw $100,000. You get bags and bags of envelopes from this exchange and say, here's your money. Now, I don't know if that's not a sign of fraudulent activity or dodgy behavior. I don't know what is. So you guys gotta keep in mind, that's how they were able to sidestep the Canadian banks and regulators. They just use these third-party companies, and these companies are like mafia. They deliver suitcases of cash using private jets to Cotton, and then Cotton deliver these money out to people who were trying to withdraw. Now keep in mind, why is he honoring the withdrawals? Well, for a Ponzi scheme, you need to honor you need to get the story going. So you get the story going, and if the story doesn't work out, it's gonna collapse very quickly. And yes, Richard, I am not saying that all cryptos need regulation. I'm just saying there are bad actors just like anything. We need to have some sort of reinforcement to make sure that these kind of Ponzi's do not happen to other people. Because it's very easy to create these kind of Ponzi right now. So that's why you have to be aware. I mean, we were in Wonderland, right? I'm not saying Wonderland is a Ponzi, but it's kind of icky right now. Anyway, going back to Quadriga. So Quadriga pooled all assets together, the company operation fund and the client's fund, to pay for shit, to cover his losses when trading on other platforms. Now here's another shitty thing to do. Now when you run a company, you have a company fund. That's the company's money. You can't pool them together with the client's money. It's like when I deposit the money, the company is going to use that money to pay for their employees. That's just dishonest. So it's not creating the line, right, between the operation fund and the client's fund. And he's actually using it to pay for his losses on trading on other platforms. This guy is a straight up Wall Street Bets artist. Straight up Wall Street Bets artist. He's a terrible trader using customers' fund to trade. And then when he lost, he used the customer's fund to cover his ass. What a shitty person. He also used his fund from the customers to fund his lifestyle. You know, those private jets, those high-end hotels, world trip with his wife. He used those things to cover for his travels. Now, that's a total shit thing to do. So this is all in 2013. So he traded with funds from 2013. He created fake names and accounts to manual adjustment via Quadriga. So he used Quadriga to make fake accounts with fake names, with fake everything. And then he credited those accounts with money. Literally printing money out of thin air, just like the Fed. They updated the accounts, they made a fake account, they updated the account with like $10 million, and then he started trading with that. This is like, what do you call those trades? Like when you do trades on stocks, you have these fake trades where you use it to learn. That's how he was doing it. That's how Quadriga was doing. They can print money out of thin air. So these credits are not backed. Printed free crypto, in other words, with few keystrokes. Cotton could make any amount of fake money or crypto asset appear in these alias accounts. The guy has full control of the Quadriga system. He can credit these accounts with any amount of crypto or cash. And he regularly did so. For example, in 2017 and early 2018, he credited the Chris Marquet account. Now think about it, that's this alternate account. It's a fake account with a single deposit of $100 million and $50 million. Fake funds that he used to trade with clients on Quadriga platform. He's trading against his own customers with a fake account that printed the money out of thin air. Now, can you imagine when you try to buy Bitcoin with your real cash in your account and the guy sold you the Bitcoin? That Bitcoin was printed out of thin air on the exchange. Now, obviously, if you're smart, you know that this whole thing will create this imbalance in the exchange. There's not going to be enough. If you print these money out of thin air, there's not going to be enough real money to cover for these. So this is why it's terrible. That's fraud. Like, that's the highest level of fraud. That's why there's no oversight on the exchange. This is what happens. When Khan used fake Canadian dollars to purchase real crypto assets such as Bitcoin, if the price of the crypto asset go up, then the account will profit. But if it went down, the account will suffer a loss. So this is like a margin long position. That's because the client who sold Khan real Bitcoin in exchange for fake dollars was entitled to withdraw real Canadian dollars, even though none were involved in the transaction. If Bitcoin price rose, Khan could sell that Bitcoin for more than his purchase price, leaving him with enough real Canadian dollar to cover the client's withdrawal. So this guy was trading back and forth, trying to make money so he can cover the customer's withdrawal, plus a profit. On the other hand, if Bitcoin price falls, Khan would sustain a loss, and he will not be able to cover the client withdrawal with just by selling Bitcoin he had purchased from the client. He would then take additional assets from Quadriga asset pool to cover the client's withdrawal. The platform would be shorted by whatever the amount he took from Quadriga asset pool over the amount that he could get from selling the Bitcoin. Over time, as discussed later in this report, he did this over and over until Quadriga's asset pool was fully drained. This guy has no conscience. He's basically trading all your money away until the whole Quadriga fund, customer fund, goes to zero. I mean, if he was alive, he could be the president of Wall Street Bets. He could be the mod on Wall Street Bets. This guy is a true degenerate. Is a true scam artist. It's a true psychopath. That's all I can say. Now, Quadriga touted its high volume on the website. You know, it's the volume of Quadriga is the fastest growing. But the problem is the volume all came from this fake trades. Now, people may be comparing this to Tether, to Bitfinex. I wouldn't, now I'm not saying Bitfinex is doing the same thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody investigated into Bitfinex and find out, oh, they were just printing Tether out of thin air and stuff. So, very, very interesting story. I would definitely look into Bitfinex. As crypto asset trading became popular, client activity increased on the platform. So this is when 2017, 2018, Bitcoin rose tremendously from like $1,000 to like $20,000. Trading volume on Khan ADS account also increased. So that he actually traded $72 million worth of crypto on his fake account. Oh no, Quadriga had 72 million, and 24 of them was to this guy. So that's like more than one third of the total volume comes from this guy's fake accounts. That's nuts. Yeah, Khan's trading account accounted for 40% of total trading volume. This is the crazy part. This guy was the master trader on the platform. He's the big giant whale on the platform with fake money, fake account, and trading customers' funds to create this crazy volume on the platform. Now here's the growth. It's the story of the growth of Quadriga. How did it grow from this small platform to huge platform? In 2015, when the crypto price was rising, Quadriga grew along with the pricing and the interest of crypto. Now Khan and Sifu took steps to take it public, but the listing didn't happen. So Sifu was the one who pushed for Quadriga to go public. Now, when you go public, you have to regularly report all your earnings, all your activities to the public, to the exchange, to the security exchange. Because if you don't do that, then you are not allowed to be public, because you need to be transparent, because your owners are now the public. So you need to make all your reports public, how much you earn, how much it costs, all of that stuff. Now, obviously, Khan doesn't want to do it, because when he was doing this kind of shit, why would you want to be public? Because you will be screwed if you're public. So obviously, I get why Khan doesn't want to be public. But Sifu does. Sifu wants to take it public. Now, people were like, does that mean that Sifu doesn't know Khan was doing all of this kind of shit? Well, if you look at the timeline, all of these crazy stuff that's going on, that's actually after Sifu left. So when the IPO listing didn't happen, Sifu left in 2016. So he left in 2016 after the IPO failure. Now, here's the thing though. If you look at Sifu's action here, he left in 2016 because Khan didn't want to take it public. Now, if Sifu knew about all these fraudulent activities going on in the company, he probably wouldn't want to take it public too. So this kind of tells you maybe Sifu thought that the company was doing well, the company was going by the books and was getting audited correctly and everything was good, and they were ready to go public because they needed more fund. But Sifu left because Cotton didn't want to go public. This is a big one. You guys, a lot of you don't know that Sifu left in 2016. This is before all of this crazy activity by Cotton. Cotton's the guy who, after Sifu left, started doing all this bullshit. So that's a takeaway. Sifu left along with all the CFO, legal counsel, and accountants. A lot of people left after the IPO didn't happen. Why? Well, maybe these people want to get public so they can get rich from their stocks, or because they saw Cotton, red flags in Cotton, and then they didn't want to deal with Cotton. So this is a misconception. Like, people thought that Sifu was there the whole time doing all of this craziness going on. This is all after Sifu left, 2017, 2018. And when this guy has full control of the platform, that's what he was doing. Sifu did not do any of that. Just to make that clear. I am not defending Sifu or anything. I'm just reading this whole report by the Canadian SEC, version of the SEC. This is the official investigation report. They didn't name Sifu as personal interest. They didn't go after Sifu after this because they didn't find any wrongdoings from his end. So I am not defending Sifu. I'm just saying what happened. So after that, Cotton got real salty, right? This is like a breakup after your fight with your girlfriend. Now he started talking shit about Sifu. So Cotton went as far as to tell the new Quadriga contractors that Patron, which is Sifu, was not a real person at all. So there's that fight. And that Patron's existence and the story about him online have been invented by a competitor of Quadriga to throw the platform to dispute. So again, you have the CEO, this Cotton, started talking shit about Patron. He said, oh, that guy? No, he didn't even exist. But we know for sure Sifu exists. He actually was on a YouTube video talking about Quadriga, and that was still on YouTube. I'm going to try to find it, but I'm not sure if I can find it here. But basically, that's what happened. Sifu did an interview, and let me see if I can find it. So Sifu definitely exists. He was definitely had ties with Quadriga, and according to Sifu's Twitter, he actually joined Quadriga as more like a funding person. He had a lot of money invested in Quadriga to get it started. That's how he was able to get the co-founder status. So now 2016 started trading Ether. This is all after Sifu left. Now 2016, Quadriga started trading Ether, and they printed more fake Canadian dollars, bought a bunch of ETH. From June 2016 onwards, Cotton began opening new Bitcoin positions, but this time in reverse, selling fake Bitcoin to platform clients in exchange for real Canadian dollars. Now that's just fraudulent. Can you imagine you go to an exchange and you want to buy Bitcoin with your hard-earned dollar, and then the person who gave you the Bitcoin is the fake Bitcoin? Remember what I said in the very beginning. Nothing is recorded on the blockchain. Not your wallet, not your money. So when they give you that, they just give you a line in the database says so-and-so has 5 Bitcoins, for example. That database is controlled by Quadriga. They can say any number they want. So remember, here's the saying, right? Not your key, not your wallet, not your money. On a legit exchange, you can withdraw to your wallet directly. And you can see it on the blockchain. But this guy just didn't have any of that. Provided this is early, but you still have it. Coinbase has that, so props to Coinbase. So 2017 was when the crypto market grew, and they got to hire a lot of people because the company is growing. Quadriga experienced a setback in 2017 when a coding error cut off access to approximately $10 million in Ether based on the current Ether value. Held in Cotton Control wallet, it remains inaccessible today. So this guy, this should be the sign. When this happened in exchange, you have the founder control a single wallet, and that wallet is locked because of coding error. That should be giving you a sign. Why is the founder holding a wallet for the customer fund? That's just BS. Can you imagine Brian Armstrong holding a wallet to your Bitcoin in Coinbase? And oh, I guess my video cut out. All right, let me turn off my video. Yeah, my computer sucks. That's why my video broke. Let's go continue on with the story. Now, Khan purchased significant Ether positions with fake Canadian dollar through the Chris Marquet account. Again, remember this account, Chris Marquet, fake account. He bought a lot of Ether with fake money. As a result, Khan had found real Canadian dollars to satisfy Canadian dollar withdrawal requests. So when you printed a ton of fake money, you're trying to satisfy real money withdrawals. Now the saga continues. In addition, as crypto assets rise in 2017, Quadriga received hundreds of millions of Canadian dollar deposits from new clients. Now they got new money coming in. Now this is what you call a Ponzi. Khan used these deposits to fund Canadian dollar withdrawals. That's the definition of Ponzi. You're using new money to fund old money. That's a Ponzi. So you have to look at this from this perspective. And you know there's a Ponzi. That's why it's a Ponzi. That's the definition of a Ponzi. Now, between May 2016 and 2018, he transferred approximately $24 million of client funds to himself and Robertson. That's his wife, who he met on Tinder. Khan bought a Tesla, a Lexus, a luxury yacht, a plane, a share in a private jet, and multiple properties. Khan and Robertson travel frequently, and by mid-2018, Khan boasted to another Quadriga contractor that in total, I'm up to 56 countries, 37 with Jen. So that's just straight up psychopath behavior right here, using all of your customer funds to buy jets, to buy yachts, to buy private jets and multiple property and travel the world and brag about it with this girl who's like obviously a gold digger on who he found on Tinder. Now that's got to be the best ROI swipe on Tinder if you're Robertson. But yeah, they travel. That's what most people do, and you can tell this is all funded by greed. Obviously, it's funded by greed. Now, obviously, you can't keep up with this forever. Sure, when the market is rising, when crypto's market is rising, Bitcoin's getting a lot of interest. Of course, people are gonna want to continue to deposit, and then he can use the money to pay the old people out. Great. No one wants to withdraw, right? When the market is so good, when the coin's going up, you don't want to sell. You don't want to withdraw. Now comes the downfall. If you are in crypto in 2018-ish, you know what happened. So that was 2017. It goes up. Quadriga's getting a lot of money coming in. And then 2018 comes. Boom. 2019, the whole year, 2018 to 2019, was like a 90% drop in crypto, in Bitcoin. That was the winter, crypto winter. I was in it. I held through it. I remember that. It was brutal. Now, here's the downfall of this exchange. So the crypto price fell in 2018. Although current short position was profiting from the falling price. So he's like shorting and longing his customers and fake money. His Ether position was much larger. He had a long Ether position, but a short Bitcoin position. So Khan's holding was suffering heavy losses. Here's the first sign of problem. Around the same time, the Canadian bank froze account connected to Billify, one of Quadriga's main payment processors. Now comes the trouble. When your payment processor is frozen by the bank, by the Canadian government, then your funds are frozen. You cannot access 26 million in Quadriga's client's fund. Now, if you're the client, you'll be like, what the hell, dude? I'm trying to withdraw. Are you saying my money is no good? I can't take out my money because it's frozen? And Quadriga may have also lost access to fund held by an offshore payment processor. And like, things are starting to go downhill from there, 2018. Around the same time as the froze, Quadriga began struggling to fulfill withdrawals. So this guy went to Reddit and said he blamed it on these third-party processors getting frozen. People complaining on Reddit, and this guy blamed. So it's a typical behavior of a scam artist. When something doesn't work, they blame something else. Does that remind you of Wonderland? Hey, why is the price going down? Oh, it's just the whales manipulating. When airdrop? Oh, we're just trying to figure out things. These are the obvious red flags you guys have to watch out for. And they have good way. These guys have good ways of explaining the problem away. And like this case, he blamed that on the banks. So that bought him some time. Now, by March 2018, Cotton was operating Quadriga like a revolving door. Now, what does that mean? That means when customer withdrawing faster than new funds coming in. Remember what I said about when new funds come in, he used it to pay the old customers. Now, the customer are withdrawing. They're not depositing new money. During the crypto winter, people want to get out. They will need the money. They want to withdraw. Now, people withdrawing is faster than the new money coming because nobody wants to invest in crypto when it's down. Which is pretty ironic, which is probably when you should invest. But he's like, okay, whatever. And then 2018, he got married, went to honeymoon in India. So that's like when the exchange is about to die. This is when the Ponzi is collapsing. Instead of trying to handle it, he went to India, got married in India. They funded an orphanage. I don't know what that means. While there, he transferred $500,000 from his personal account to Quadriga to help with the withdrawals. You got to keep the Ponzi going, right? And then he checked into a ultra luxury hotel in India. And then the dude died. The dude died in December, apparently of stomach disease or some shit disease where his poop just went inside instead of out. New director is appointed, suspended the platform, website offline. Now, that's when the Ponzi is dying, right? When the dude died, they just want to shut everything down. Now, these directors, you got to look into them. Like, do they know what this guy was doing? How does he have all the power to do all of this shit? There's like no internal governance in this company. None. Instead, the CEO can do whatever the hell he wants. Literally, whatever the hell he wants. I think these guys should be held accountable as well. But it's too late. They suspended the platform. Website went offline. Imagine you're going to Coinbase and the site goes down. I mean, they go down all the time, but you go down like forever. So now comes like what happened to the funds. It was widely believed that the bulk of the asset shortfall was due to lost or inaccessible private keys. However, this was not the case. Keep in mind, I want you to read this again. This is not the case. Now, people were like, oh yeah, the funds were lost because all the funds were locked in a single wallet and there's no key to access for. That's false. That's actually false. So this is from the official report. That's actually false. So what happened to the money? Well, as described previously, Quadriga was already in crisis before Cotton's death, and most likely would have collapsed even if Cotton had been alive. By the time of his death, the platform owed approximately $215 million to clients, but had almost no assets to cover these liabilities. So now we go to the funds breakdown. Here's the thing, right? People were like, oh, there's this wallet with all the money a customer's fund, the keys nobody can access, and they saw Sifu siphoning the money out. So that was the accusation. But that's not really what happened. Unless you have the hard evidence that Sifu actually took money out from whatever the wallet that was, or if there's even that a wallet at all. You know, let's see. So this is the Canadian government's report on where did the funds from Quadriga go. They filed for creditor protection in 2019. It owed client asset worth its client asset worth collectively of $215 million. That's the total that's missing. That's they owe the clients, all the depositors. The monitor only recovered or identified 46 million in asset, leaving 169 million shortfall. So they were able to recover 46 million of that, but 169 millions were gone. And here's the breakdown. Here's the charts. 46 million recovered. 28 million losses by Cotton on external platform. So he used the money, then deposited into a third-party platform, maybe Coinbase, maybe Binance or something like that, and he was trading there. And he lost $28 million trading. He sucks. He's a terrible trader. Should be a mod on Wall Street Bets. I don't know what the other is, but we probably will read more about it. But then $115 million were trading losses sustained by Cotton on the Quadriga platform. This is not on the external platform. This is on Quadriga himself. This dude lost $115 million trading customers' funds on his own platform when he was printing fake money and fake crypto there. Take a second. Like, this is the total, $215 million. So most of the money was lost because this guy was trading these two boxes. He was trading people's funds in Quadriga and other platforms. So that's the breakdown. And that is the report. it's a real eye-opening report. I suggest you guys read through it and see if you agree with my conclusion. I actually wrote notes as I was reading it, and this was, I'll post this somewhere, maybe on Twitter. But this is what happened, and it's terrible thing to do to customers' funds. And there are more stories. His wife actually wrote a book about this whole ordeal. She was actually trying to move all of his assets after he died to her own name. But apparently that didn't succeed, and she's now working a regular job. She claims to be innocent, but the dude, she's like, oh, I should have looked into what he was actually doing, where his money was come from. Sure. I personally, I don't believe her at all. They were all greedy people. All these money make people do terrible things. So now where am I going with this? Well, I'm not defending Seafood. Now, Seafood did mention that you guys should read this report to find out what happened, and this is an official investigation. Seafood did left in 2016. Now, there was a rumor that Seafood, by the time of this guy's death, or by the time of Quadriga's downfall, Seafood and another person owns more in share of the company than Cotton. So there was a rumor of that. So I'm not sure exactly if that's true or not, but you gotta take it what you will. So look into it if you want. Now the wife, I'm obviously, I don't want to talk about her. I don't want to accuse her, but she did release a new book just this month. So look into that. And about the guy, yeah, sure. He's like, oh, I'm dead. I went to India and I died. I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying. So what is the purpose of faking your own death? Well, he's trying to get away from the crime, right? So you don't have to serve your time. And India is one of the easiest countries to fake your death. He supposedly, no one saw his body, and his body was basically gone by the time people caught up to the news. So that's definitely a lovely way to get yourself out of trouble, just by faking your own death. Now, is he still alive? Maybe he's living somewhere, another name, change his face, like someone we know, change their face, change their name, and start a new life, and get away with all this crime. I certainly hope he doesn't trade anymore. This guy's a terrible trader. How do you lose $140 million trading? $140 million. So anyway, that is like what I wanted to go over today, and it's a long story. It's a pretty interesting story, and it's too bad that somehow Wonderland got tied into this whole thing because of Seafood's past connection with this exchange. And with that said, I think it's a good video. I will see you guys next time.